Hello, my name's Wes. Um, Wesley Hauser, Wesley Alexander Hauser I'm the CEO of Elemental Publishing, and I'm just making a video today about basically the amount of money that some of these distribution companies, specifically CDBaby or publishing administration, um, it can be misleading, the costs for distribution when you go through these networks. And I just wanted to kind of pull up an Excel spreadsheet and explain a little bit about my thoughts on it. And I haven't I'm working on possibly becoming a CPA, but I'm not a certified public accountant or anything. But this is just information that if you need to use it and it helps you in any way, or if just to give you extra knowledge for maybe how to proceed with your music business, or to show you the value of your music and how much of that is being taken away in small percentages that you might not know, and in a way maybe that you could get some of this back, you know, by considering your distribution costs expenses. So here, I'll just bring up the spreadsheet. So this is a spreadsheet I made, and this goes over, mainly I wanted to see how much CDBaby publishing admin services cost. Right, so I started to go through the percentages of everything, right? So the biggest thing that a lot of people might not know is CDBaby collect, and I could be wrong about these numbers, but from what I've read on their website, this is how the order that all of this goes in, right? So at first, CDBaby collects royalties through Easy Song Publishing. Easy Song Publishing, if you look on their website, they take 25% right off the bat. So that right there is a quarter of the income. That is the total value generated from your music. Right off the bat, 25% is taken, right? So Easy Song, so that right there, that's $12,500 for Easy Cut right off. So then the publishing administration fees, 15% from CDBaby. That right there, so if you generated $50,000 worth of revenue for your song or your album, or if you're just a record label and you put say you're a record label, you put all of your albums on CDBaby, and this generates $50,000 worth of revenue. So what this calculator does is it's just doing the math, and it's taking out all your distributor fees and taxes, right? So just to explain a little bit. So your company generates $50,000. CDBaby collects royalties, though on that, CDBaby gets $50,000 essentially of revenue from your song. They pay 25% of that to Easy Song Publishing, which would be $12,500. CDBaby then, off of 50,000 minus $12,500, they take 15% of that, right? So 15% of that is $5,625, right? So then they take another 9% as their standard fee. So it's always 9%, even if you don't get, for CDBaby, even if you don't get publishing administration. So not all company like Songtrust doesn't do that, right? So anyway, that fee right there is $2,868.75, right? So that's already taken, getting close to half right there of the total revenue generated by every album that you might have put out on CDBaby, right? So if you think of if you put all your albums out on CDBaby and use their publishing administration service, they're taking up before tax, and that's before taxes. So after taxes, and this is accurate, after your federal taxes get taken out on that revenue, you'll come away with $18,519. So that is 37% of the total revenue that was generated by your albums and your record label. You're only getting 37. That's what this means here, right? I don't mean to be confusing or anything, but it's just sometimes I have it in my head a way that to say it and it makes sense, but it's hard to actually verbalize that when it comes down to it. But anyway, that's, like I say, that's a lot. That's well more than half of the total revenue generated by that song is just boom right there, going to other people, really, including the government. So I mean, yeah, you got to pay. You want to pay your taxes, definitely. So still, though, that's $20,000 right there, $21,000 that you're missing out on essentially by using this publishing administration service. So even if they're collecting, they may be collecting that much more money in international revenues or something like that, but I really don't think they are. And this can really add up. So luckily though, that could be considered an indirect expense. So if you have a record label, you could record that as an indirect expense at $20,000, $21,000. And maybe you could deduct it. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to read up a little bit on how that would work as far as a deduction. But that is an indirect expense to the distributor. So basically, this is a little bit different. This is the amount of money that you lost in total from the total revenue that was generated, essentially. So out of $50,000 here that was generated, you earned your net income, $18,519.77 in profit. And you paid out $31,480.23 to distribution and taxes. So the reason that that's different is because if you do a deduction, it could either be before or after tax deductions. So these numbers could be different, but either way, you lost. This is just the total amount of money you lost from the total amount of revenue that was generated. This is what you paid to the distributor, and then your federal taxes on your revenue earned. You paid $10,000. You know what I mean? This absolute value is just to show that this is another way this is a way that you can kind of gain back some value, right? If you do use CDBaby Publishing Administration or Song Trust or one of these services, right? There's still an absolute value, right, of $50,000 because this song has generated $50,000 worth of revenue. And then or not this song, but your album or your company, right? So if you have a company and this is how much revenue is generated, your company is still worth $50,000. See what I mean? But it had 31,000, it had $20,000 in expenses, and technically as a loss because it paid taxes. You lost, that's the amount of money that you lost on the profits, on the revenue that you generated you still did earn a profit, right? It just wasn't very much of the cake here, the pie. You know what I mean? That was generated from your product. If that makes sense. I don't mean to be confusing, but this can change. Like your self-employment tax will drop down to 2.9. So if you make like $500,000, let's see if I can see. So you make $500,000. You know what I mean? I mean that's just taking half your money. More than half your. They're taking more than half your money, right? And this is just because if really the revenue that was, because Spotify is giving you 0.004 cents or whatever for each song, so 10, if you think of a song download as 10 views, and they're only given 0.004 cents for that, that's just like, it's like they're just robbing everybody. It seems like, I mean, that's what the numbers look like to me here when I put it, and I'm not deep in the industry or anything. I'm just making music and I'm trying to start this thing here. But I'm just saying, when I go through the numbers here, I think some of these definitely up and coming independent artists, the game's changed now. These guys are they're taking little bits of everything, essentially. They've taken the place of the record label. They just changed their names, then spread themselves out, really. You know what I mean? Is all, in a way, is all this is. So there's other ways you can do it completely independent. You could sell songs on. See, if you use Songtrust, you make a little bit more money though. See, you're not. And if you just say, if you don't use the distribution or the publishing administration, it's a little bit better, but you're still getting hit at this 25 through easy song publishing. And I'm sure Songtrust does that because CDBaby uses Songtrust, as their pub admin. So really you're just, and it's this 9% isn't bad because CDBaby might actually help you if they're providing a benefit, cool. But this is a lot right here. So I just wouldn't recommend getting the publishing administration from CDBaby. I would recommend just using them as distribution at 9%. That's pretty good because CDBaby can offer good distribution options even in comparison to a lot of the other companies. Since you're giving them 9%, they have an incentive to promote your music, And if you're giving them 60%, or you're giving them close to 50 right off the bat. And here you're giving them 35%, and then you're getting hit with taxes, which isn't so bad. You make another $17,000 on this if you generated $500,000 worth of income. But see, if you did this with people don't do digital downloads really as much anymore, but if you did this with digital downloads, like Bandcamp takes 10%. You know what I mean? So you would have made a lot more. They still take a lot out, but a lot of this is due to taxes. And see, the self-employment tax drops down because there's higher revenue generated after about 140,000, I believe. 147,000. You don't get charged Social Security tax on amounts above that. So, but that's just in a year. So, you'd have to do your own taxes. But because this is just a model to show an extreme example of, but it may not be so extreme. Even if these numbers are a little bit different, they're taking a lot out of this right off the bat. So then if you think about working with other artists, if you work with another artist and that artist like say if you only get 30% of your album. Let's say you put out an album, let's say you're just an artist and you don't know anything about the business, you just want to make music, right? This is how they're kind of getting you here. Get you on an album and say, hey, we need a singer, and we'll give you 10% or 30% or something, but you're getting 30% of nothing because it's already been, you know what I mean? Like it's already been pieced out here, and none of that, it doesn't even, your music isn't making any money for you. So there are just other ways to structure. If you take these numbers into account, knowledge is power, and there's other ways to structure, an arrangement to where you're not getting percented out at all these levels. You're getting nailed on your taxes maybe, and yeah, it takes money to make money, and it's good to work with. CDBaby's helping distribute your stuff, so they deserve a little bit of money. They shouldn't be so misleading about it. If they're going to take 50% to do it, they might as well say, hey, this is what it is. I mean, they give you the information on the website, though. That's how I found it out. So they do give you the information. It's just tucked in there a little deep, it's tucked deep in there. But yeah, if you went with Bandcamp, you would not double your money, but be doing better. So, streaming's great and all. And it really just depends on what you want to do. It's not all about money. You might need to get, okay, 50% of, 500,000 or a million is a lot better than 100% of nothing. You know what I mean? Or 100% of $20. It's like, yeah, it's cool. You got 100% of $20. So, but you get 10 or 15% of 500,000. That might not be too bad. It just depends on what kind of arrangement that you're doing. Obviously, it's not too bad for CDBaby because they're taking their little percentages and from everywhere they can. Not to hate on CDBaby or anything. I don't have anything against them. I just think that I just think that's a little misleading, maybe. And Song Trust, like maybe better watch it. Watch Trusting Song Trust so much with that 15% fee. That's not bad though. It's a pretty good deal. If they get you good money from international royalties, I think it's well worth 15%. But they don't tell it. The problem is they're not charging 15%. They're charging 40% here. I said 35, but they're charging 40% right here. So right off the bat, so they're charging more than the government. Bandcamp charges 10. That's why I kind of like Bandcamp in certain ways. The problem is digital downloads aren't as popular, but really digital downloads, I don't see what's so bad with them. I think that you can put them on a little disc and play them in your car real easy when you have music like that. Like I know you could stream it on your phone now, but I don't know. It's really just kind of unfortunate how the whole situation with music is. But I mean, there is still money to be made off of digital downloads and certain types of, maybe some people need to maybe think outside the box a little bit. Otherwise, you're gonna have to think half of my revenue's going out. But like I say, that doesn't really change the value of that item. So if you still own it, like you own the copyright, and everything like that, this is just what it costs you to distribute it. It's still generated $500,000. You just had to pay out, everybody afterward, and this is what you kept. So I mean, it's still You have a company, you have a record label, it's generating millions. But let's, you know, I don't know if the math will work out there, but I mean, you look at that, you made 5 million, like you paid out more money to your you're better off being in the distribution business because you're paying more money to the distributor. Like, and then what they do is, you know, Spotify doesn't allow you to become a distributor yourself. Doesn't allow you to just, you know, you put your own music on there and bypass these guys. Now they've put you in a box and there's like a little gateway, or they put us in a box, you know, because I'm in the same boat, really. I'm trying to figure out a way to put out my music so I don't, like, I put everything into this. Like, I'm in debt. I'm in thousands of dollars of debt from student loans and trying to put together my business and like thousands of dollars, you know, like, um, I don't know, over 20,000 now, you know, I mean, lots of, yeah, you know, I went for it like as best I could. And, you know, I don't want to put, well, I mean, you know, I'm going to go for it anyway, but it's like if you don't do this work, then, and you're just like, oh, it's fine. Any distributor will work fine. Like, and you know, I wouldn't have realized that they were piecing me out, 60% on it, you know, or whatever. I don't mean to ramble on. I just want to, I don't know, um, kind of show you guys what I'm going through here to build this business. And, you know, if you guys do the same thing, you can kind of maybe learn, you know, from it a little bit, or at least hopefully if you watch this video, you'll understand that it's not necessarily a bad thing to go through these companies. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you do, they're going to take quite a lot of your profit, and it may be the only thing that you can do. But I'm just saying that, you know, they're taking a lot. But like I say, there's a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel because you could consider this an indirect expense or indirect expenses. So you can maybe help. I think you can get some of that deducted, and there's other deductions with self-employment taxes, and there's certain things like that. So if you structure yourself like a business, you can get a little bit of this back, you know. Anyway, that's all I got. Like I said, I just wanted to give you guys some information and like I said, let you know kind of my thoughts on all this. Thank you.